This video will help you check the odometer on your vehicle if the PRNDL and odometer has stopped working. I did pull the dash out of the vehicle and try to inspect the circuit board, but I didn't find anything obvious. Like sometimes the servos for adjusting the dials can be bad, or there could be damage in the traces on the circuit board or cracked solders joints, but I didn't find any of that in this case. And when I did that, I had to remove all of the dials, so I had to calibrate them after the fact. So I just wanted to kind of show you how to go through on a scan tool and calibrate your dials and check your odometer. So everything is working pretty good right now. So with the Savannas and a scan tool, they're going to ask you if it's drive-by-wire or not. I'm going to say without a cable. It doesn't have the radio anymore, so we're going to say base radio. This is a 2004. They had the problem with these body vehicles for a long time. The truck dashes are a bit different. They actually have a space where you could put a tack in them, but you can't do that with the vans, and no one really services the vans very well. So go into the control unit. We're going to go into the instrument panel, and we're going to look in a couple different locations. So trouble codes I'm not going to worry about, but for live data, there's input output, and if you go to the bottom, or not, I was thinking that's where you could find it. It is not there, but you can see the different positions of switches and what have you. I've got the dash yanked out, so some of the stuff's not going to work. But the PRNDL is working correctly. The blinkers and everything are right. And there's the data here. So this van's got 108,000 miles on it. This is an American van, so it is in miles. I don't know what it would show if it was Canadian, if it would be in kilometers or miles. Like that Dodge truck that's next to us, it reads in miles. Anyway, so that's how you check your mileage. It looks like it can go up to 621,000 miles before it rolls over. And then data 2, so this is where you want to work on things. So you can look at the battery voltage monitored versus displayed. So what I did was I took a 1/4 inch nut driver. You take out this screw here, then there's 4 screws on the corners, and you can lift up this corner of the dash. There's a clip, and then if you put the steering wheel all the way tilted down and pull the gear selector down to first, you can pull it out and kind of flip the dash out. Then there's 4 clips that hold the cover on it, and you can use a tool like this and just lift off the dials. So that's how you're gonna calibrate it so that it's perfect, because like I always had, my voltage would read a little bit lower than it ought to, and the temperature was always a little bit suspect as well. So you can see that it should be reading about 35 psi. It's reading 40 right there, which is interesting. I think I might have calibrated it from a different display. Then the temperature is, again, it's weird, it fakes it, right? Like there's 2 different numbers. It's giving you 5 degrees lower than actual. So I kind of divided it out, like there's 11 divisions from 100 to 210. So I think it was about 12 degrees per division, and I worked that out. And then the fuel display, that's 44%. Again, I had it at 50% initially. So you pull off the dial and put it back on in the right position. If I had put some tape down and before I pulled the dials off when I checked the circuit board, I would have been closer, but I was off by a touch. Then you can cycle the key a couple times and see if it pops back to where it ought to be or not. So again, there's like a bit of a faking, a fudge factor in all of the values here. So that's the different datas. You can go into active test and IPC gauge. I think that's where I got my settings from. Again, they're all a little bit different. So 45%, 32.78. So the oil pressure drifted a touch on me there, but not much I can do about that. You can't get them perfect, but you can get them pretty close. Like at 190, I've got it just touching the bar before the 210. That seemed like a good compromise on how to get that there. But these are all the different things that you can see. Like you can tell if you got your blinkers on. And I've been having trouble with my brake pedal sticking. Actually, it's not working at all right now, according to the brake lamp here. So that's a bit of a concern. But I just wanted to show you that. So that's how you can go through and kind of calibrate your gauge and also check your mileage. And there's another spot in here. It might be under powertrain, special functions, as I need to reset the oil life because I don't have an odometer, but the light will come on when you need an oil change. So I just did an oil change last night. So you go in here, it's at 2% right now. And now I want to give it a 100% because I just did an oil change. So I reset that. I think there's a way of doing it with the key commands and whatever, but if you're curious how much oil life you've got in an actual number, that's how you would go in and do that. Then if you got misfires and things like that, if your O2s are acting funny, you can check them in here. Otherwise, there's not a lot in this vehicle. It's like an earlier ODB2 vehicle, so it's not got a ton of information available in here. But there's a bit. So this is also how you would program your keys after you change your radio, because initially the radio was involved in setting the fob security codes, but because that radio is gone, you can do it in here. I'm not going to show that, but that's how you would go about it. You can buy the fobs online for fairly cheap and set them up on here. So anyway, hopefully you found that useful. Thanks for watching.